Have you noticed that every time around 3 p.m. you're just so tired? You're so done. You're at your desk and maybe halfway through the day and you suddenly just feel like your brain doesn't want to work anymore. It just feels foggy, tired, and you just overall feel so slouchy. And you reread maybe the same sentence 5 times. You reach for the second or even third coffee. Or maybe you wander in the kitchen looking for something sweet like chocolate or something. And next thing you know, you're on the couch, scrolling through the phone, zoning out, and you're telling yourself, oh, I'll be back in 1 minute. Yada, yada, yada. 45 minutes later, and yes, I've been there, so know what I'm talking about. That's the energy crash. It's actually kind of normal when not just your body, but also your brain basically are telling you they're done, they're fried. And that crash you definitely feel. And it's not just about energy, it's actually about brain function. But here's the good news. You don't need more coffee. You don't need more willpower. And you definitely don't need to push through or even feel guilty. You just need to understand what's going on in your brain and how things are functioning. And once you do, you can actually fix it. So today I'm going to walk you through the real reasons behind the afternoon slump and show you a simple science-based reset that I teach all of my high-performing clients. And it works just in minutes. It requires zero equipment, no supplements, so there's no hype, just you and your brain. I'm Heike Fallon, personal high performance coach and neurosports therapist, and I help my clients sustain for a long term with a brain-based approach. And in this video, we're about to turn your 3 p.m. crash into a big 3 p.m. comeback. Let's get started with the basics. So why does this crash happen? Right? Why do so many people, even those that sleep well, ate good breakfast, and had a really productive morning, suddenly feel they are underwater by midday, mid-afternoon? And the answer lies really in your brain, the natural rhythm. So our body runs really on an internal 24-hour clock. It's actually called the circadian rhythm. And that clock controls all kinds of functions, including sleep and wake cycle, your hormone production, and your energy levels. So that energy crash at 3 p.m. actually works like clockwork, like no pun intended. But that natural rhythm includes that natural dip of alertness between 2 and 4 p.m. And it's not random, it's actually biological. At that time, your core temperature drops slightly during the time, so your cortisol levels, which keep you alert, also dip at that time, and your brain shifts kind of from get stuff done mode into that passive, slower processing state. So that's part one. And now comes the modern life to it. So, back-to-back Zoom call meetings, notifications constantly pinging, multitasking, and you're on screens and other screens and more screens, and no real lunch breaks. A lot of my clients struggle with actually taking a good lunch break, not good hydration, and probably not really good breathing in between. So the result, the nervous system is just simply fried. Your prefrontal cortex, that's part of the brain that's responsible for focus and decision making and really staying on top of things, is just simply tired. And that's why even simple tasks feel overwhelming. So now add one more factor, decision fatigue. By 3 p.m., your brain has made thousands of choices: what to wear, what to reply, how to phrase an email, even choose what to eat. All that depletes your cognitive resources. And now we've got a natural biological dip, a cognitive overload, decision fatigue, and probably low sugar from skipping lunch. And that's a perfect storm for a crash. And that's really what happens at 3 p.m. But there's an important part. This is not a flaw. This is not a weakness. It's not a signal. Your brain is just asking for a break. It's just asking for you to reset. So it wants no more extra decision making, no other to-dos. It just simply needs a break, and an effective break where you actually reset the nervous system. And the best way to do it, well, it's what I call the reset walk. Now, the reset walk, before you roll your eyes, really just go for a walk. Well, you can go just for a walk, correct. Outside is great, but you can also do it inside. But this is more than just a walk. It's really a nervous system reset. So this is not designed for the cardio component. This is actually designed to refresh your brain, to reboot your focus, and to replenish your energy without caffeine, without sugar, and without screens. So how do we do this? So step one, get away from the screen, which you're on right now because you're watching this. But seriously, you can look somewhere else right now, but when you do it otherwise, you close your laptop, you shut down your screen, your phone, and everything else, and you need to remove all visual input that's flooding into your system. So if you can, get outside. If you cannot, try to go close to a window, somewhere in your office or whatever, and you're going to start walking slowly. And you can do that right now with me. So again, this is not about calorie burning. This is about the nervous system. So swing your arms, and instead of now, you can just listen. You don't have to look at the screen, so you can look further away. And the trick is right now, instead of staring on your feet down here or thinking of your to-do list, start to just kind of gaze ahead and try to kind of clear your mind. And then let your eyes slowly take in the peripheral, meaning what's on the left, what's on the right, what's above you, what's below you. So we're activating the peripheral vision, which, by the way, is directly connected to your parasympathetic nervous system. So that system is responsible for being calm, clarity, recovery, and your brain feels safe. So based on visual cues, it shifts out of the fight and flight, so that sympathetic system, that ramped up, overly stressed kind of brain, into more rest and relaxed state. So now we're going to add breathing to it. Again, make sure you don't need to stare at the screen right now. You can listen to me. Just look further away. And now I want you to inhale for 4 seconds through your nose. And exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Inhale. And exhale. You can make the exhale even longer. So key is the exhale is longer than your inhale. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Your jaw is relaxed. And you might add some intention. So I'm resetting my brain so that you're not starting like me, usually thinking about my to-do list. That's not the point. The point is to set new intentions. So I'm resetting my brain. I'm going to be more focused again. Whatever intentions you might want to do. So keep walking. Even if you do this for about 2 minutes, that's great. If you can, give yourself 5 to 10 minutes. Again, you're not wasting time. You're recovering cognitive capacity. And you're resetting your ability to think, feel, and perform at your best. And what's the best part about it? You can do it anywhere, no equipment, no gym, no prep, just you and your brain. And the more consistently you do it, the more your nervous system learns, oh, this is how we recover, right? So now let's talk about what's really happening here. So if you understand that, it makes it easier to create that daily habit that you need. And first off, peripheral vision usually helps to calm the nervous system down. And it helps it to just kind of, once you calm and kind of recover, you can actually think better after that. Now, the slow breathing with a longer exhalation absolutely activates the vagus nerve, and that lowers your heart rate, drops your cortisol levels, and just in general also increases your body's ability to digest and actually heal. And then the walking, even slowly, increases blood flow to the brain. So you don't have to do a fast cardio kind of walk, just what we just did here. Brings your heart rate up a little bit at the same time, creating blood flow. So that's totally fine. And that also activates the prefrontal cortex. That's the part of the brain responsible for executive function. So decision making, planning, emotional regulation. So by reducing visual and sensory overload and allowing your brainstem to calm down, which improves your balance, coordination, emotional resilience. In other words, it's just so much in there when you utilize this brain-based approach. It's not just some kind of fluff, it's actually functional neuroscience in action. And this is how you train your brain to recover on demand. And when you do it consistently, you feel actually better the whole day, and you stop crashing, you stop, spiraling down, you become a lot more clear and present and resilient. So how do you make this stick? Key is that you do it on a daily basis. So to implement it, I highly recommend, first off, commit to making it non-negotiable. Put it in your calendar, call it like the brain reset, and put it in your calendar for every day, let's say 2:45 or whenever, just right before that slump comes for you. Again, that might be anywhere between 2 and 5 or 2 and 4 p.m. And just dedicate like 5 minutes there. You may also chunk it to something that you're already doing. Let's say after a Zoom call ends, you do it, or after lunch, you do it. Oh, side comment here too. Don't skip that lunch. It's super important. So you can walk as much as you want. If you haven't eaten and fueled right, that's a big deal. So do not ever skip lunch. Make sure you have lunch in your calendar. That's what I had to do. I had to put actually the lunch time in the calendar. So don't skip lunch. And again, chunk it to something, the Zoom call after lunch or something that you're already doing. Key thing is keep it very simple. Don't make it fancy. Don't make it doing too complicated. If you can go outside, great, because outside is a whole nother ball game. Otherwise, look out the window, look at a picture with nature if you can, and combine really that movement, the breathing, and the visual component. And you might add actually music to it if you like, and or some of my clients also like to add some scent, some peppermint or something that energizes you. Have a diffuser running, so that can be helpful as well. And then I highly recommend to always assess how you feel before. You can just use a scale 1 to 10. 10 feeling, fantastic, 1 you're in the deep slump, and then you reassess afterwards and see how much that helped you. Some people also, some of my clients like to also walk staircases so that there's a little bit more cardio component. You can absolutely do this as well. So key thing is you can rewire your brain if you do it on a consistent basis. So that means you have to do it daily. And again, this whole thing isn't like laziness. It's not lack of discipline. It's really about your brain doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's telling you, I'm done. This is it. I need to reset. I need to recover the same way as your brain, as your body does it. So embrace it that your brain gets tired, not just your body. Do that 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute reset walk and set intention with it so that you can absolutely reboot your energy. So rebuild your momentum without caffeine, without guilt, without burnout. And I challenge you right now, put it in your calendar, block the 5 minutes and really notice the difference and see how you feel. And feel free to comment below. Give me some feedback how your experience is. I've been implementing it and it's definitely been helping me. I do add music to it because I actually like to also make it more dancing instead of just walking. So feel free to bring your own in, but it surely brings my energy up and helps me. And it's a fantastic, easy tool and helps me to re-energize, focus. And really it helps also for longevity because you're really managing your stress level and your energy levels, and that is so important. So I'm Heike Fallon, and I will see you next time. So remember, your brain regulates everything, and when you take care of your brain, it cares for you as well. Until next time.